Okay, I think we're good to go. Still not telling. There we go. We are live. Welcome to Conjure Conversations. I'm so happy that you are here as usual. This is our weekly gathering where we get to talk about the ancestors and we have the opportunity to receive the channeled messages that they send to me to share with people who come to join us. And so I'm happy that you are here. For the last few weeks, I've been talking about something that I felt was extremely important, and that is guidance. Receiving guidance that comes from our ancestors, our guides, our angels, and whoever the beings are that we like to follow and we like to receive information from. But I'm specifically in this talking about the messages that we get from the ancestors and the guidance received from the ancestors. And I know I was talking about it because so many women need that right now. With everything that's happening, what's going on, some people are feeling isolated, some people are feeling overwhelmed by what is happening in the world right now. And that guidance helps to really ground us. It helps us to go back to what's important. It helps us to understand why we're here and what that medicine is that we're here to deliver to the world and make that impact in a way that is natural and comes with ease. And so over the past couple of weeks, I've talked about guidance here, but I've also been holding little meetings and sessions and information sessions and just talking with women about where they are right now. And this is what I realized, that it isn't just about women not having the guidance. It's really about them becoming even clearer, to me anyway, that they need a deeper level of guidance that doesn't come from just connecting with the ancestors. Because what I found is that many of these women know that they've been called. They know they've been called to do something. They know that they're here to make an impact in the world. They know that they have gifts. They've done the work, they've done the trainings, they've developed these gifts, they've already are helping people in many cases. They have businesses or services or things that they're doing to help other people. And still, for many of them, something just feels so unclear. Not because the calling isn't real, they're clear that they are here to do something, but because knowing you are called is not the same as actually understanding the work you are truly here to offer. Knowing you're called is not the same as knowing what you're truly here to offer. And that's important, to know what we're here to offer. And that's where I find women get stuck. They're stuck in the not knowing what is there, what's deeper, what they need to channel into, what they need to tap into. They just know that there's something deeper. They can feel it. Many of them have already invested in themselves. They've already worked with clients, like I said, and they're really starting to build something, but they're still asking a question, or should I say many questions. What's the deeper work I'm here to do? What is my next step? What am I supposed to do with all that I've learned, all that I've gathered, all the wisdom that I have? What am I truly here to offer? And then the other question they have sometimes is, who is the work really for? Who am I supposed to be working with? Who are my ideal clients? And then they start to feel, why do I keep circling when I know that I have this calling? I know I have these gifts. I know that I have training. I know that I have wisdom. I know that I'm doing some really phenomenal things, but for some reason, I'm still just not sure. If you're in that space where you're sort of like, I know that there's something here, I know that I'm being called, I know that I have these gifts, but you're really not sure how it's all coming together. Doesn't mean that you aren't doing anything right now. It just means that you're just quite not sure how this is all supposed to come together. If that's you, just put me in the comments because I know that there are a lot of people, yeah, me, exactly. What we know is that that often happens. But the good news is we don't have to get stuck there. We can actually move out of that space and really move into something that is much more powerful. Because what we know is that knowing you're called is not the same as understanding the work you truly are here to offer. It just isn't. You can be called and you still need some refinement. You can have gifts and you still need a clearer way that's supposed to come forward for you. You can have all the training in the world. In fact, what I find sometimes is that many women have lots of training for their business, but they're still not sure how to bring it all together. And you can already be helping people and still know that there's a deeper body of work that's emerging for you. And this doesn't mean that you're off or that the path isn't quite there. It just means that it's time to kind of look at where is this work supposed to go for you? Like I said, it may need some deeper refinement. And so yeah, so that's me. And Trisha's saying for me, it's the fear of taking the plunge and offering my services and not knowing how to promote myself. Yes, yes. I hear that quite a bit. Yes. And the thing about it is what's keeping the work unclear a lot of times is not the calling itself, it's the interference. Sometimes the signal is there, we're receiving the guidance, but the deeper knowing isn't quite there. Something's interfering with it. Something's interfering with our ability to trust it, to name it, and to move with it. And that interference can look like old stories around visibility. If you had an ancestor that was doing similar work and maybe they were shunned for doing it, maybe they were rejected, maybe they were forbidden, or even worse, maybe they were even killed for doing the work. Oftentimes, there's a level of protection that's in place that's keeping you from being visible, and you're operating unconsciously from that space. That can create a fear of being seen or misunderstood. But what happens is that we're not trusting. We're not trusting that guidance that's coming through. That's another reason why that interference can sometimes take place. We may receive it, but it's not quite the way we think it's supposed to be or the way we hear it. And once again, we go back to we might have those visibility stories that are showing up. There may be some fear of being judged or misunderstood, or there could be something around charging for work. If there's ancestral money stories around worth, that can sometimes play a part. That sometimes can impact us if we have these ancestral money stories. That can make us not charge for the work the way we should, or feel like we're supposed to charge too little, or feel like, you know what, I'm never going to be able to make money. Or one of the things that I see is they get in front of a client, they get to talking to the client, and what they were planning on charging, they're like, oh, well, you know what, maybe I should charge less. Or they start judging whether or not the client can afford it. And so these money stories start to play a part in how we are able to really understand what's emerging for us, what's coming through. And once again, that trusting what you know to be true. And sometimes it can look like overthinking because I find that happens too. There's this overthinking about what needs to take place, what needs to happen, and nothing ever happens. And I don't know if this is you, but in talking to some of my people, what I find is they'll go to AI and they keep putting stuff in AI and they keep refining it and they keep refining it and they keep talking to AI and they're getting different messages and then they get totally confused about what it is that they're supposed to offer or the message that they have. I find that happens with a lot of people who are using AI and they're still unsure because AI is a useful tool. but it doesn't know your soul's calling and your purpose. And the other thing that I find that interferes is trying to force the work in a shape that does not really fit who you are. For example, people will go through a number of trainings and now they feel like they have to offer their work exactly the way they were taught. And that isn't always the case, particularly when your ancestors are calling this work forward. Oftentimes, those trainings were the awakenings. It was awakening that spiritual power in you. It was awakening you to be able to receive the messages that the ancestors have for you about what your medicine is. Those trainings weren't always meant for you to do them exactly the way your teachers did. Now, there are some teachers that will support you in having that free will, while others will tell you that you have to do it this exact way. And what I know after working with many, many people around the world, many women who are being called by their ancestors to carry on the lineage medicine, is that your work may not look anything like what you were taught. That doesn't mean that you can't bring in the different tools that you learned to help you bring your medicine forward, because that's often what we do. We'll do a combination. And when I work with women, helping them really refine what is the lineage medicine and how to put it in a form that they can now offer to their clients, we usually are using pieces of what they've learned, but they're creating their own way of using those skills and those tools and those spiritual resources. So if you're finding yourself at a point where you are trying to model your work off of the people that taught you, just step back for a moment, take a deep breath, and realize that it doesn't have to be exactly the way you were taught. And also remember that they have put their own spin on it in a way as well. And that's the same thing that you can do. And what I find that also interferes is that many women are looking for the guidance, but they're not really connected with their ancestors yet. Not connected in a way that helps them trust what they're receiving. Connecting with the ancestors is a way for you to receive that medicine. And that's what I do when I work with people, is I help them have that connection, not just me channeling that message, but also helping them have a direct connection with their ancestors. So if the calling feels unclear, just remember that doesn't mean something is wrong. That's not what it means. It means that there's an interference. It may mean there is deeper work that's really asking for your attention. So if you're doing some work right now and you are enjoying it, but you still feel like something's there, there's something deeper that's calling for your attention. It means that a clearer form is about ready to come through. It means that there are inherited stories that are oftentimes interfering with that signal. They're interfering with your ancestors being able to fully deliver the message to you about what that lineage medicine is and what you're here to carry. And it means that you need the support and the understanding and the guidance on how you are here to share your work with the world. That's all it means, is that you just need that connection. You see, your ancestors, and we'll talk about this probably next week even more, your ancestors hold a medicine in the lineage, and it's passed from generation to generation. Now, some actually activate that medicine and use it in their work, in their lives, while some, it bypasses a generation. And then it comes to you, and there's an awakening. There's a feeling of a calling. There's a feeling inside of you that you know that you're supposed to do something even deeper. And in many cases, It is something that is helping people. It's doing something to help people's lives, improve their lives. And that ancestral medicine, when you know what it is, it makes your work clear. It helps you to know exactly what you're here to offer, exactly what you're here to do, exactly who you're supposed to work with, and it helps you know how to reach the people that you're here to serve. But it really requires us being able to listen and hear and know what it is. When I connect with ancestors of clients who are at this point where they know something is there, it's still not coming through for whatever reason, interference. When I connect with their ancestors, there's such a powerful shift that takes place. I can physically see their bodies change. They go into a peacefulness because as they hear the messages from their ancestors, they feel that their gifts are now beginning to naturally flow and they don't have to try to figure it out anymore. It's such a powerful thing to see. And these ancestors come through from multiple generations on all sides of the family, men and women. And they talk about what the lineage medicine is and how to bring it forward in a way that is unique to this generation, to you. And it becomes your unique signature way of offering your work. And that's why knowing that lineage medicine is so powerful. And that's how I realized the guidance was important. But what's really important and what I'm seeing that is really needed right now is really tapping into what is that medicine that I'm here to bring forward. And when you bring that that medicine forward, it cuts through the chaos. It cuts through the struggle. It allows you to really focus and tune in to what it is you're here to offer. So if you know right now that there is a deeper body of work trying to emerge for you and through you, type yes in the comments. Just type yes. Yeah, sometimes we need to keep doing something to see results. We can give up too early. Absolutely. Particularly when we're unclear about the next steps. The confusion sets in, we get distracted in many cases. We give up, or in some cases, people go and take another class because they think another class, another training, another modality is going to make the message clear. And that really isn't what is needed. What's needed is to stop in the moment, step back, and start to have a deeper connection and find out what it really is that is brewing inside of you. Great. Yep, AI can be confusing, especially if you use it several of them. Absolutely. I hear that all the time. You know, people are trying different AIs, or they have even on ChatGPT, they have several chats going, and they're getting all of this different information about what it is. It can be very useful when you know your medicine, when you clearly know what you're here to offer, and then you go to AI and ask for some support and some help and maybe, refining it a little bit. The tools are great, but if you're going there looking for AI to help you figure out what you're offering, like I said, they don't know your soul's calling. They have no idea who your ancestors are. They cannot help you with that. They can only give you what you're able to feed them, and then they feed it back to you in a way that maybe supports you with what you need, but usually it's not the full picture. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. I'm seeing some yeses here. Yes. Yeah, definitely more classes. Yeah. I've been there. I've been there. I'm trained in several modalities and I use maybe a teeny bit of one of them. That's it. And not even that much. I don't regret going through the classes. They were very helpful. They did do an awakening for me, and they helped me really refine my own spiritual gifts. They helped me to really see what I do and what I don't want to do. But at this point, it wouldn't really help me to keep taking more and more and more. Now, let me say this. If you are learning a modality because you feel that it's something that you're really interested in and you really want to offer it and you want to learn it, that's not the same as abandoning your work to go and take another course because you think that's going to be the answer to why you can't figure things out. Those are very different. Very, very different. So that I don't want to make it sound like there's anything wrong with taking courses. There absolutely is not. There's nothing wrong with the trainings. They can be very, very useful and very helpful with your medicine and what you're offering. But if you're doing that because you're still unclear, then that doesn't help. Or maybe you're even in a situation where you're attending a lot of coaching programs. I know someone years ago that came to me and she was in 5 or 6 coaching programs, still working full time, and was really struggling about what she was here to offer. Well, she really couldn't invest the time in those coaching programs because she was still working. And I don't know how many people can take 5 courses at one time anyway. That's a lot, right? That's a lot of courses. But she felt like one of them was going to answer the question about what she was here to do. And what it did is it made her even more confused, frustrated, defeated until we started working together. And I helped her figure out how to maximize her experience in those courses while still working full time. And then I helped her get messages from her ancestors about her medicine, why she was here, what was blocking her, what that real interference was, what are those ancestral stories that are showing up that are helping her, and which ones are actually interfering. Once we did that work, then she was better able to take advantage of those coaching courses and those workshops and the trainings and things that she was involved in, the business development. It's really hard to develop a business when you're not clear about what it is that you want to do and what you want to offer. And sometimes there are people that can actually help you with that. But most of the time, if you're involved in a business course, they're not tuning in to who your ancestors are and what your soul is being called to do. So having that in place first really helps maximize your experience in those courses. So the courses can still be good. So what I did after meeting with people recently and really understanding better where people were struggling, that it wasn't just the guidance that was lacking, but really understanding what that lineage medicine is, understanding what are the ancestral stories that are causing an interference, that are creating some blocks. What are the generational stories that are causing some trauma? Where are we operating from unconsciously that's impacting our ability to bring this work into the world the way we want to? The more I had an opportunity to talk to people, the more that I look back over the years and really thinking about where the struggles really were, what I know is every one of the people that I worked with, once they understood what their lineage medicine was, the confusion was cleared. The chaos was gone. They were able to now operate with ease and naturally. They knew who they were here to support and help. And some of these women, the majority of them were in business, but some of them were using this to work in their careers as leaders. Some of them were doing this for learning for their community work that they were doing. Some were even politicians. Knowing your lineage medicine and how to use it today can change everything. And that's why I created a program called Conjure Sovereignty. And it's a private program. It's a private space for women who know they are called to meaningful work and they're really ready to refine it on a deeper level in a more spiritually grounded way. And I'll share more about it over the next few weeks. But Conjure Sovereignty really is about healing those ancestral wounds that are showing up, that are blocking the flow of your medicine moving through you naturally, connecting with those ancestors that hold the wisdom of your medicine so that you can work directly with them. And then learning and identifying and embodying and activating what that ancestral medicine is. So now you know exactly what your unique special offer is in your signature system. And in addition to that, you'll know exactly who you are here to work with. Because that's a place where I see women struggling too. Who am I here to serve? And the amazing thing is, a lot of times we feel like we're here for everybody, but it's really hard to sell to everybody. And when you know what your medicine is and you know what your ancestors are calling you to do and you know what your soul is moving towards, it makes it easier for you to know exactly who the people are that you're here to serve. And that's a part of what we do in Conjure Sovereignty. Now, for some people, as we've been talking about guidance, for some people, you need something right now. You need guidance right now. You need next step information right now. It's not even about your medicine yet. You just need that guidance to know what to do next. And that's where Conjure Guidance comes in. And that too is a private session with me. It's a much smaller session. It's a 90-minute session. Conjure Sovereignty is a longer program. It has more depth to it. But if you're at a point where you're needing guidance and you want a private session because right now you just need some clarity about what's happening, what's interfering, and what your next step is, then Conjure Guidance would be the place for you to start. But either way, Conjure Guidance, Conjure Sovereignty, I am here to support you, connect with your ancestors, and learn what it is that you are uniquely here to offer to the world. If you're ready to really tap into what's emerging, then this is the time to do it. And if you want to have a conversation with me about it and you want to learn a little bit more about the difference between the two, how each one can help you, then you can schedule a next steps conversation with me. For those of you who are listening on Facebook, I will pop the link into the Facebook chat a little bit later. And then for those that are on Zoom, I will be adding it on Zoom a little bit later as well. So if this is a place that you want to really begin to learn what you're here to offer, I am ready to work with you because I want to see women truly embodying their lineage medicine and offering this work in the world. We need you right now. As you see with everything that's going on, we need you right now. We need you to do this. So I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so happy that you were able to come. But you know what? Before we close, I want to do something. Let's do a little bit of something. So we have a little bit of time. I want to take you on a little bit of a journey. I think we're going to go on a clearing journey, but we're going to go where the ancestors take us. So just take a moment to close your eyes and relax and take a deep breath and release. And suddenly there's this beautiful golden light above you. And that golden light is just coming down through your crown. And it's coming down through your throat, through your chest, through your belly, down through your legs, into the earth, grounding you, supporting you. This is a beautiful healing light, releasing anything that needs to be released that's blocking you from truly experiencing your natural gifts. And now we're going to take a trip to the water. And allow yourself to just be guided. Maybe you're floating to the water. Maybe you're walking. Maybe you're riding a bike. However you're getting to the water's edge, you are now on the beach. Beautiful, crystal clear blue waters, turquoise, beautiful, deep, rich color. This is salt water. This is healing water. And as you look out into the water, you'll see crystals all through the water. These are all healing crystals that are in the water. And as you step into this water, you can go deep. You can stay just with your feet in the water, whatever feels most comfortable for you. But as you step into this water, you look out and one of the crystals begins to light up. And that crystal is now receiving any fear of visibility, any money stories, some of the challenges and the confusion that you've been experiencing. And it's traveling through the water and dissolving into that crystal. And as you stand in the water, or sit or laying in the water, whichever feels comfortable for you, but as you're there in the water, begin to release the words, the beliefs, and the ideas that you know no longer are serving you. Let them float into the water. And as they drift into the water, just see them coming out more and more. Words of confusion, messages that other people have placed on you, the limitations, they're questioning, they're doubting you, they're judging you, they're rejecting you, their abandonment. Place it all in the water. And let them flow to the crystal, your special crystal in this water that is there to absorb all of this for you. And as you begin to finish, that crystal starts to absorb this and it goes down, back down into the ocean, back down into the water to dissolve it. And as you take a deep breath and release, feeling lighter and more at peace. And as you step out of the water and go to the beach, you are greeted by an ancestor. And this ancestor faces you and reminds you of how powerful you really are. This ancestor reminds you that you carry the wisdom of multiple generations of men and women who have overcome some of the most challenging circumstances, creative, ancestors, loving and kind ancestors, ancestors who held healing power, ancestors who were teachers, ancestors that helped bring new life into the world, ancestors that invented new ways of doing things. These are your ancestors. And this ancestor looks at you and reminds you that all of that is with you, in you, surrounding you, and available to you at any time as you're taking your life journey. That ancestor looks at you and reminds you that you came here with those gifts, that they are naturally running through your blood and bones, and that you have been selected to carry this wisdom forward. And the ancestor hands you a gift as a reminder of just how much wisdom is around you. Receive your gift. Look at your gift. And if you have a question for this ancestor about what this gift means, take a moment to ask that question now. Beautiful. And now the ancestor thanks you for being here. You take a moment to thank the ancestor for always being there for you, even when you can't hear, even when you don't feel it, even when you ignore it or don't trust it. Thank that ancestor for always showing up for you. And now the ancestor takes you back into back and back into whatever form of transportation you use to get to the water. And you come back feeling refreshed, feeling the healing that just took place, and with your gift. And now come back into the room. Once again, take a deep breath. And slowly exhale and move your hands and your fingers, your body. Allow yourself to just come into the moment. Come back. Coming back. So what was your gift? What did the ancestors share with you? You can drop it in the chat. A beautiful stone. Nice. A red rose. Beautiful. A heart that told me to always come from my heart and my intuition will always guide me. Yes, yes, yes. The gift was restored relationship. Yeah. A camera. I was told to remember to enjoy the scenery. Yes. These are all wonderful gifts that can come through from the ancestors as you're taking this journey. And for anyone that didn't get a chance to do the journey now, definitely go back. Go back and listen to it. Go back and do it again. You'll find that it is very, very helpful to repeat this, to continue to release the things that you need to release. I'm glad we were able to take this journey. And I'm truly, truly grateful that you were able to be here with me today. I thank you for being here. And for those of you who are on Zoom, stay with me for a moment. We will have our after chat and Q&A time. And for those who are listening on Facebook, once again, if you want to be a part of the Zoom room, then what I encourage you to do is drop Zoom in the comments, and I will be sure to provide you with the information to join us by Zoom next time. We'll be here again next Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you again for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.